Hi.
We are.
I've been listening to you for many years, but because of the place that I was in, I wasn't able to get it like I'm able to get it now. I don't know if it's age or experience or whatever, but there's no question in my mind. I absolutely believe, and I just want to share with you a couple.
Well, we want to say before you start, we do want to hear from you, that what you just described is what we've been talking about the momentum of thought. So it took a little while to dilute the resistant thought with more of the non-resistant thought. But then it tipped. And once it tipped, the improvement came on stronger and faster, didn't it?
Yes, and I want to say something because I don't want to discourage people from talk therapy, but it tipped when I stopped doing talk therapy. And talking about the same problems like over and over and over and over again. I don't talk about my problems anymore, and they just seem to not be there. It's like weird, because it's a woman thing. Whoever has the biggest problems, you're the winner, so I'm not very popular anymore because I have some really good problems, but I just don't talk about them. And then the problem is now I'm not getting any attention, but I'm still having the problems. And that's the part that's hard, is not getting the accolades of making it through.
So what you're saying is, and you hit on something so important, that a lot of people are feeling that problems can be entertaining, and even more important, more people relate to them. Yes. More people relate to the resistance in your vibration than they do to the non-resistance. Not really, not utterly, not solely from their soul, but more people have got that vibration going on, so more people get you when you're complaining than when you're not. That's what we mean when we say there's never a crowd on the leading edge. That's why the movies aren't oriented, all of them, to uplifting. It's turning a little bit. But the movies aren't oriented there either. And the news certainly isn't. The news wants to appeal to your darkest fears and to keep those fears active so you'll keep coming back.
And feed them. It's like, it's almost like something that's just, and I experienced it. It was a hunger, and that's where addictions come from, just feeding it.
But we want you to be addicted to your inner being. And so when you think about it, when you have lived all of that, and you know all of that, and you've assessed all of that, and it's sitting where it's sitting, and then you just begin applying this powerful new thought that we're presenting here today, that says, I'm looking for the pleasure of a non-resisted thought. When you look for a pleasure of a non-resisted thought, you are reaching for a different audience. In the beginning, it might be just the audience of you and your inner being. But what it turns out to be is that part of every person who wants to feel better. In other words, the crowd will come back to you.
The crowd that I want, really.
Much of that crowd will be in the same faces that you remember from before, too.
The same people, but I just see them differently because of the place that I'm at.
It's not only that you just see them differently. You attract differently from them because you've got no resistance within you, and your inner being is helping you with the attraction of that part of them to you.
And that vibration in them, that the vibration I'm feeling match up. So if I'm feeling happy, joyous, and free, then their happy, joyous, and free is going to come match up with mine. If it's not, they're not going to be there because that's not.
And that's what timing is.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's exactly what we're talking about.
And that's the flow.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
And so I don't have to worry about where they're at.
Not at all.
But, well, I do, but I don't have to.
Conversely, we were about to explain that. Conversely, if there is something that you're worried about that's active within you, then you'll keep rendezvousing there. But what's happened to Esther, just really recently, as we've been refining this and describing it to her, she will be just sort of in a place where she's just pondering. And she'll say, oh, not that movie, because there's someone in her vicinity or even somebody thinking about her. And she's tapping into it because there is vibrational reminiscence within it.
So their energy's coming, titillating her energy? Is that what you're saying?
When anybody thinks about you,
wow,
it can wake that up within you, and the movie can start to play because that influence is to some degree underway. And as you feel the influence of the movie that starts to play, you say, oh, wait a minute. There's a different movie I'd like. And sometimes you can play a different movie intentionally about that person. Sometimes you have to change the subject altogether.
or actually get away from the person because I can't handle the titillation of their energy. And so I don't know if that word's right or not, but I can't be distracted enough to not engage with that energy. So there's certain things that I have to do.
It's attraction, 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 attraction. So no matter what you're getting, it's matching something that's active in you. You just can't get around that.
So that's the key. That's the key right there, because I can't go, I'm having stuff that I didn't even know that I had that's still attracting something, yet you're saying that can attract things, but it still is, so I'm not getting it. So I must be thinking about it, but I'm not? I don't get it.
Well, here's the thing. There are two ways to know what your point of attraction is.
Okay.
What we recommend is what I'm feeling, catching it early. But if you don't, it'll manifest and then you'll see it. And in either case, it's beneficial. When you start making the correlation between the movie you've been watching as you've been under the influence of something unwanted and then what manifests further, when you start making the correlation between what you've been thinking and how you've been feeling and then what comes, then life isn't a mystery anymore. Then you're in the driver's seat. But don't make a big thing about it. Relax in this and don't make it hard. Just make it be something that's interesting and fun and getting better all the time.
And that's why you emphasize, for people like me, how important the journey is, because for some reason, since I was born, it's like, okay, I'm here and I need to get there, and whatever, I don't need to get to
most people are a bit that way.
But don't forget about this part. That's the most important part, because I never really do get there.
You know why it's the most important part? Because it's the longest part. The journey is always the longest part. The journey is always the longest part. Think about any journey. Wasn't it longer than the destination? How long did it take you to cook Thanksgiving dinner, and how long did it take you to eat it? The journey is always the longest part. So most people are doing a bit of what you just described. They're looking forward to something, but not all that happy now. But when they get over there to where they think they'll feel happier, then they often do feel happier. But meanwhile, they stewed about it and they worried about it and they suffered over it and they deprived themselves of the true bigness of it. But when you start enjoying the journey, Esther started saying things because she's on the road a lot and she's on a lot of airplanes and she's in a lot of hotels and she's away from her family a lot. And she started saying things years ago, doesn't matter where I am as long as I'm having a good time wherever I am. And it doesn't matter what I'm eating as long as it tastes good. Imagine being at a wonderful restaurant eating beautiful food and lamenting the fact that you're not over there at that other beautiful restaurant. You don't usually do that. You usually savor what you're eating, don't you?
That would be nice if I could do that with everything. Yes.
Well, it really helps to know that there are some key things that we've been emphasizing. Satisfaction, and let's make that word even bigger. Satisfaction, which to some people means exaltation. Satisfaction could mean in God's graces. Satisfaction could mean fulfilling my life's purpose. Satisfaction can be a big old blossoming concept. Satisfaction, no matter how you're looking at it. I like what I'm licking right now. Satisfaction comes from only one place, and that's moving in the direction of a desire. Satisfaction doesn't come when you're moving away from it. So now we're back to what we were talking about earlier. Take some doing for some of you, because you've been trained by often well-meaning people who believed for themselves and for you that ultimate satisfaction, which is God's grace, comes from your sacrifice. You got to suffer and deprive. You got to have shortage consciousness, believe that the blessings are few, so don't take too many for yourself. Believe that the pie is little, and don't be greedy and take too much of it for yourself. It's an epidemic among people, well-meaning and maybe not so well-meaning, who want to control your behavior by the thing that's the easiest to control it by. We talked about that at the beginning of the conversation. If people are oriented that way, then it's easier to get your attention. But once you find your true power and once you find your true satisfaction and once it becomes consistently within you, then the world looks more beautiful and you appreciate the contrast that it is, and you don't need to control anybody, and then you have a better relationship with everybody. When people around you understand that you don't need anything from them that is different than what they're offering, that you are picking and choosing from them by your attention to what feels good to you. You're not choosing a piece of them. You're just not choosing some pieces of them. So they don't ever feel any rejection because you're not saying, I don't choose this about you. You just don't choose it. So you don't get it.
Yeah, wow. It's just, I have 3 children, and the picture that I'm getting, because I see things in pictures, is my oldest when she was in college, and she called me up, and she's sobbing, and I don't even have to go.
All right, now that's a movie. That's a movie, and it's easy to keep replaying that movie. But how does that movie feel?
Well,
get up and walk out of that movie.
Well, yeah, right. But what I'm saying is, so
we know what you're saying. Stop it.
The example before was that I sent her cards, spent that whole 2 weeks being out of my life worrying about her. I called her up and I'm like, well, what's going on? She didn't even remember the event that I had been losing my life over for 2 weeks. That's an example.
It's so good.
And I was like, oh my God, I lost 2 weeks of my life and she doesn't even remember what
Well, now that's a whole other movie. Stop that.
That's right. Oh my
Isn't
God.
it?
It's hysterical.
So
So
you caught a little glimpse of her movie.
Yes.
She moved on and you took it to full production.
I was being a good mother, I thought, a good mom.
And because you suffered and sacrificed, and she doesn't even remember, now you're writing a sequel to the movie.
No, I keep track of it to bring
Not
up next
only
time.
did you cause me to unnecessarily suffer, I'm continuing to do it because I'm so mad that happened to me.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh my God. I could not believe that she could not even remember what it was. I mean, because I really suffered a lot over her sadness.
That may have been the very best experience of your whole life.
That one caught me a lot.
Because that says better than all the words that we've been saying here already today. That's what we're talking about.
Right. And I'm supposed to get the lessons at the end. That's the whole idea.
So think about all that resentment that goes on. You made me feel this way. Well, you felt that way because that's what you were all queued up to feel. Nobody made you feel that way. And she didn't even mean to make you feel that way. That's just what you had queued up, so you easily made yourself feel that way. It can be complicated or it can be simple. You get to choose whether you make it complicated or whether you make it simple. And sometimes it has to be so absurdly complicated before you will allow it to be simple. That's a wonderful thing that happens. Sometimes the momentum of what you don't want just has to keep going and going and going until suddenly you're looking and you're thinking, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It started out here and now it's there. And then something about the absurdity of what you've allowed the momentum to come to causes you to launch an enormous rocket of desire, and then you sleep and you're in a more powerful place. We want you to recognize that as we've been chewing together here today, that everything that's on your mind and therefore in your vortex has been known by your inner being and therefore by us, and we have talked about it all day long. There's nothing serious going on here. And we don't just mean here in this forum, we mean here in your life experience. Nothing serious in the sense that you've got dragons to slay and things to fix and imbalances to correct and wrongs to right. That's not what you came for. You came knowing that there'd be some of that, but you didn't come with a sense of responsibility that your satisfaction would come from fixing those things. Because you're really wise. You understood the laws of the universe as you were making your decision to be out here on this leading edge. You knew that the contrast would serve you because it would help you to define what you want. But you knew that once that definition happened within you, that your singular work would be to find the pleasure in that movie, you see. So, if we'd met you on your first day, we would have nothing to say. You wouldn't have been asking anything. You'd have just been all frisky and saying, where's the contrast? Where's the contrast? Where's the contrast? And your inner being would say, oh, looking for the contrast, are you? Why are you looking for the contrast? And you'd say, building my vortex. I'm putting the distinct, unique things that matter to me forward.